it occurred to me I could get one of these, and that could make leveling out those clamps a little bit easier. Especially considering the size they are now. Courseplay has finished. That will be the Noah, who's way ahead of us now. Oh, also, not sure what the weather's planning on the farm. It looks like sunshine for the immediate future. And let's boost the time up to 3 again. So yeah, when I'm fixing stuff, I'll definitely slow down time, because yeah, I shouldn't have to completely rework a silage bunker or whatever. You know, delete what I had and create new what we'd already done. I mean, it could be argued I should just stop time and fix the problem. But right now, I mean, obviously the mower's running, I'm picking up grass. This is gameplay. The Magnum's doing its thing. It's costing me money, but hey, whatever. Oh. And we're full. So I don't need to bring the mower back to the yard yet. Is the Magnum parked back in that corner again? No. Okay, good. Obviously still doing its thing. There we go. You're good. Now, let's push that button. Go find the mower. There. Clear off the Courseplay, and I would say, unless I'm going to do any contracts, the mower's done for now. Maintenance is 94, that's fine. Bring this over here and stick it by the pressure wash. And we're not done tipping. How's this going? 25%. So getting there, but there's a lot of chaff out there at the front. But what that means is it can get up and down the hills easier. Okay. This is as far as I've got, almost, with alternating rows. So, once again, more silage work. But then, obviously, August will be done after this. We can skip over to, something interesting. Maybe, like September. Yeah, sadly the Deutz Series 8 disappeared before I could do anything about it. The the Class Axion 800 popped up, although I am still hoping Giants releases the 800 series for Farm Sim 25. They've already done the 900, but 900 I think is going to be a bit big for what I want for the next series. I'm kind of looking at stuff that tops out around 300 horsepower is probably going to be adequate for whatever farm we do. But yeah, we can play around and see what happens. We also don't have any Valtras in. We might have one Valtra in. Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, we might have a T. But yeah, we didn't get the Valtras. We didn't get the big class tractors. I think in this version we got the 600. We didn't get the 400. We got the 400 and 600 when we got the class pack in 19. But we didn't get the 400 for Farm Sim 22, but we did get the 400 and none of the others, just the Zerion in Farm Sim 25. So we now have the 900 and two models of the 900, the regular and the TerraTrack model. And then but not much in the way of Valtra. They really skipped out on the Valtra. The problem is, I mean, whenever I've said I like it, if I'm getting a small tractor to start, if we go to small tractors, I usually go down to the end before the mods. And this one does a 145 to 205 with all of the tyre options. You can do a front loader and everything else. This one also does a 145 to 201, so they're very close in capabilities. Class is a little bit more expensive. The Valtra, I think, can be made more expensive by adding reverse drive. So basically the steering wheel or the chair will turn around and you can face backwards. It's less useful, I think, on the N because you can't run any of the big mower sets. But the ability to run a butterfly mower or whatever. We did get, and I don't know if this is available either. Where's mowers? We got this, which is designed to go on the 3-point linkage at the back, or it's designed to go backwards. We're looking at the drop side, the mow side. This is the 3-point linkage, and you mow from this side. But the lights are red, so this mounts to the back of a tractor. But the tractor needs to drive backwards to mow. Technically. So that's a thing. So the Valtras are great for that. I think some of the Fence also have reverse drive as well. So they're all good. And failing that, you're going up to something like the Zerion, which, if it's implemented correctly, the entire cab on this can turn around. Not just the seat, but again, it's that tractor's this tractor's way too big for the that mower set, really. Okay, how am I doing? 46. Magnum's still doing its thing, and It's registering 8-9 miles an hour, so that's also good. Let's head back north and finish up this field. Swing a bit wide here. I'm going to try and get that patch of grass I missed on the last turn in. We have snow in Michigan. Yay. But yeah, so if this, I mean, obviously we've recovered most of the maize silage. We're collecting the grass for grass silage. That's all good. I've lost basically 50,000 litres of maize silage, which is, yeah, unfortunate, but it's not. We're not at a point on the farm where that is a critical amount of stuff that's gone missing. Especially not when you consider I've already tipped a number of 52,000 litre trailers in this, and we've got 200,000 litres of grass here. So what happened to the other 8,000 litres? Yeah, you lose it when you tip it anyway, so that's not too serious a thing. Yeah, there are losses to be made on the field, in the clamps, when you're rolling it. So long as, you know, back up again. How much is in there? Well, we got 250. This is a 50,000 litre thing. So okay, I think again it's probably something to do with these silage clamps are less. I said the old ones were bugged, and when you've got them covered up, they only uncover half the clamp, and then everything else in the clamp is completely inaccessible. So that's a problem. But also when you tip into the clamps, some of what you're tipping just vanishes. So again, that's kind of an issue. And with these clamps, I'm not seeing that. The only loss I've got is everything that's out the front of the bunker when the tractor's rolling and pushing back. So long as this all, so long as it's close, I'm fine. I do have notes of what was in the other clamps that was inaccessible. At least what I think was in the clamps that was inaccessible. Sometimes it doesn't report everything that's in there. I know the those clamps, when I had them open at both ends, if you were at the left-hand end, it would only report what was in the left half of the clamp, and if you were on the right-hand end, it would only report what was at that end of the clamp, which, that's weird, but okay. So they were always a bit of a problem. It could have been their size. I'm not sure it was their height. I did spend quite some time in the in ModHub, just looking up silage clamps to see which ones would work for me. I thought the medium-sized clamps would work, but it turns out they're not compatible with Maize Plus, so they didn't show, or they didn't allow me to tip anything but whole crop silage, which is basically what everything is in base game. You tip foraged maize into the clamp, it becomes silage. You put grass in, it becomes silage. You put other crop forage in, it becomes silage. And then for maize plus, they called silage, whole crop silage, which is more valuable than the grass and maize silage. But whole crop does not produce as much as the maize does. Or, yeah, maize I think produces the most per acre, but you can only get one time a year. Grass produces a lot and you get it 3 times a year. And then whole crop produces quite a bit less than everything else. And you also only get 1 time a year, but it's more valuable. So if you're going to sell silage, whole crop silage is actually worth quite a bit. But really it's still probably not really worth it, all things considered. So that's the thing. And if you want to, obviously if you're making silage to feed your cows, then maize silage is the best thing probably, because it's a higher yield. So it's kind of like, if you've got a choice between feeding chickens wheat and barley, grow barley, because there is more barley per acre than there is wheat per acre. Barley's not worth as much, so if you're selling the crop, then you're probably better growing wheat because it's worth more, or oats, but definitely don't feed your pigs oats. Really, just barley's the best food source on that count. Get that hole filled, at least a bit. The problem is with doing it this way, you end up with a peak rather than filling the hole, which is why I was thinking maybe a pusher would be a plan. But I'll need a tractor to go and get it. And I don't really have one right now. Well, I could fetch it in the Lamborghini. I could buy the Class Axion. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so hopefully, in spite of this glitch, the farm can continue now. And I'm only using these 4 fields for grass now, for silage. And potentially that last field that we cut, or the worker cut, I might be eliminating that in order to grow some other stuff. I suppose we could have a look at things. Maybe put out a couple of greenhouses in that field. Now we've got manure. I could put the enhanced greenhouses that produce more if you have manure added. Let's have a look at that in a minute. So I did clean the filters in the aquarium yesterday. That seems to have sorted out the annoying noise. I think with the pump it builds up too much pressure, and then you end up with air bubbles forced through. 'Kay. Here, that will probably stop, yes, because I'm a cart with some stuff. $300,000. So let's see. I want that button there. Productions. Where is productions? Oh, down here. So sunflower needs sunflowers, canola, olives, soybeans. We're getting through the oats. This uses sunflower oil, dough, yeast, flour, sugar, pasteurized milk, eggs, butter. So we could do strawberries. We've already got the eggs growing. Soy milk I don't have. Honey I have. Chocolate bread. Cheese comes from the dairy. Tomatoes, lettuce. So we already had strawberries, tomatoes and lettuce. Those three things come from the thing that does the stuff. What I was just talking about. The sugar beets, we've got the sugar factory that's doing its thing. I haven't bought a dairy yet, so we are going to have to buy the dairy when we start producing milk. Let's have a look at the animals. These guys have an absolute ton of food. They're halfway through breeding and they still haven't produced any eggs. Okay. These guys are 30% of the way through breeding. They're chewing up the straw. They're producing slurry. We've got manure in the manure pit. That chaff's sticking out quite a way now. So once again, we're going to have to jump out, get back in again, refill the loading wagon. Okay. Through here, there we go. Oh, it doesn't tell me I've got eggs because the eggs are spawning in the spawn point, not in the whole area, so that's fine. Around and missing bits, but it is what it is. I think I got pretty much on most of it on the other field, although I said I wasn't necessarily forcing myself to get all the bits. Cavalier Reed stopped by yesterday to tell us about apparently there's a fair few maps in review or waiting to be released to Giants, and people want to get them right. Oxy's estimate on Calmsden 25 is probably towards the end of January. So his, we've still got like a month before we're likely to see that. But as I said, I'm probably not going to do that. I've been watching Scroft's series, and I kind of remembered why I wasn't necessarily that big a fan. And his maps are realistic, and they look absolutely incredible. The issue I find from a gameplay point of view is you tend to have small equipment and massive fields. And so, yeah, it's like it takes you a game session or two to harvest at one field because of the size of equipment you have and the size that the field is. And then the problem is if you wanted to put bigger equipment into the field, you can't do that because it's an English map. The roads are too narrow for